Hi, my name is Beth Neal. I'm one of the athletic trainers. I'll be working with you today on your injury. What is your name?
Hi, Beth. My name is Steve.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. A little sore today, but I'm doing all right.
Good. Well, we can definitely work with that. So you made this appointment, I just want to give you a couple brief things about telemedicine before we go. Have you ever had a telemedicine encounter before?
No, I have not. This is new for me.
Perfect. Okay, so a few things I want to go over with you before we start, just so you're aware. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to pan around and show you the room I am in. There is nobody else in the house with me, and there is nobody that will be coming in. So I just want to let you know that whatever you say is private and confidential. If you hold on one second, I will pick up my computer and move it around so you can see.
I don't see anybody.
Yep. And then I wanted to ask on your side, is there anybody that could potentially be in the room with you?
The doors are shut, and I am in the room by myself. I did notify people that I'd be in here for a telemedicine, and they understand the privacy that I'd
Okay.
like to have.
Okay, I was just gonna say, as long as if you give me the verbal okay, that we can talk about whatever you need during this time and you're comfortable with your surroundings.
Yes, please.
So a few other things. Depending on the type of injury, we may need to do a follow-up within the office. This is a fantastic first step for us. But depending on what it is, whether we need to get potentially some imaging or just to see what our next steps are, if it's a little bit more of a difficult case, we will ask that you then come schedule an appointment with one of our orthopedic physicians at that time. Are you aware of this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Do you have any questions for me before we begin?
Uh, no, but they might come up along the way.
Okay, please at any time feel free to stop me, whether it's about telemedicine, your injury. I'd love for you to stop, interrupt. If I ever said something incorrect, please make sure you stop me, and that way we're on the same page.
Okay.
Okay, so what's been bothering you, Brett?
I've been having some issues with my heel. So I play football at Indiana State, and last few weeks we've been finishing up our preseason conditioning, and it's the back of my ankle's just been really stiff, and it's gotten really painful. It started off kind of sore, and I didn't really think too much of it. I just figured it was, a part of practice. And then I would say that was probably about 2 weeks ago. And then I woke up the next morning and my ankle was just really stiff. And it's been stiff on and off like all day the last few weeks. And then it's gotten to the point where I can't get through practices just because it's really painful. Um, so it's starting to get a little frustrating, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like it. Just a couple of questions for you. Have you ever been diagnosed with any type of orthopedic long-term injury, like a juvenile rheumatoid arthritis or any bone condition or joint condition?
No, I have not.
Okay. Has anyone in your family ever?
I don't think so.
Okay. And so, Steve, you said that you play football at ISU. What year are you?
I'm a junior.
Junior. And so you're about how old?
I'm younger, so I'm about 20 because I'm a little bit younger for my class.
Perfectly okay. Okay. Just a couple other things for you. I know this is hurting you more in the heel back area. Have you ever sprained this ankle before?
Um, I think I might have. I just didn't get it diagnosed.
Okay,
I didn't really go to anybody for it. I mean, I think I might have rolled it a couple times.
and has that any of those been recently or during preseason or anything like that?
Uh, I think one was during preseason last year.
Okay, so it's been a year at least since you've had any injury.
Yeah.
Okay, and the spot in the back of your heel it's been hurting, have you had any other previous pain back there or anything like that?
No, not that I can remember.
On a scale of 0 to 10, where would you rank this pain when you are sitting here right now talking to me?
Right now it's probably like a 2.
A 2? Let's say that you have just walked up the stairs, let's say 2 flights of stairs. Where's that pain at then?
Probably bumps up to like a 5 or 6.
6. And then you said you were unable to make it through practice. At what pain would you say at the end when you were like, I can't make this through any longer? What were you at right
Like it usually I start to get into practice, and it's like a 7 or an 8, and then by the end it's getting towards like a 9.
then? Okay.
And it's just really difficult for me to run my routes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, definitely. We will definitely work on getting some things done. That's not a fun thing to be hurting while you're trying to do something that you love. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
Um, just a couple more questions for you to kind of, gather some more information. Have you ever had any other serious injuries or big injuries in your football career?
No, I have not. I've been.
The worst pain you've probably felt playing football.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, definitely. A few other things for you. Are you in a spot that you are able to move the camera so that I'm able to actually see your foot once we get moving around? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I can make that work.
Perfect. And then I think my biggest last question for you, are you feeling any crunching or words like that you would describe in your back of your leg? You haven't felt any major pops or anything like that, have you?
No.
Okay, good. And this is just on the one side?
Yeah, it's just my right.
Right one? Okay. And your left side, have you injured that one at all? I know I asked about your right. And
I don't think so.
okay, that's okay. Do you have any other questions for me or anything that you feel like I may have missed at the beginning? Oh, don't worry about it. That's part of telemedicine. We're not worried. Let me just reiterate what I said. I know you got a little distracted there by your little dog. Is there anything else that I may have missed that you want me to know about? Is there anything that is pertinent to you that I was not adequate in asking for?
I think I mentioned just being like really stiff in the mornings and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much it.
Okay. I do have a question for you. As far as, so you weren't able to complete football practice that day. Has there been multiple days that you haven't been able to finish practice?
Yeah.
How are you doing with that? Is it bothering you at all, or are you?
Well, we have a game coming up, so I'm starting to really get on my nerves, and I really just want a diagnosis. So I just kind of want you to tell me what's going on, so I can get it figured out and go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Can I ask what your normal role is on the team as far as minutes played during a game or a practice or things like that?
Yeah, so I usually play a pretty good part in practice when we do live and stuff like that, and then I would say like we do this thing with our receivers where we switch off each drive. So I mean I'm in about 50% of the offensive series in a game. So
okay, and that's pretty normal for your team.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to see how this was affecting. Is it affecting anything else of your life? Like, are you having issues walking around campus or doing anything else that you prefer or love to do?
Yeah, I would definitely say getting around campus, playing like backyard football like with my friends on the weekends and stuff like that. We like to pick up soccer too, and that's starting to get difficult for me after extended periods of time.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just really frustrating, and it's kind of making me a little angry.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's frustrating when you're injured and you don't know what's going on. So,
Mhm.
well, we talked about it a minute ago. Let's see if we can set this camera up so that I'm able to actually see the back of your foot. So maybe setting the camera on the ground and having you stand up by it might be the easiest. And then are you able to just tip it down just a little bit for me? A little bit more. Perfect. Okay, now what I want you to do, can you roll up the other pant leg too?
Yeah.
And then can you take 2 steps forward for me? Perfect. Okay. And so that right heel has been getting you. Do you normally have any swelling back there?
Yeah. It's usually not that bad in the mornings,
Okay.
but towards the end of the day and like after practice, I noticed that it gets pretty puffy.
Yeah, okay. If you were able to, I'm gonna have you, can you spread your feet just a little bit for me?
Yeah,
And can you point on your right side if there was one spot that it hurt the most? Could you point there?
right here.
Okay. If you go down more to the bottom of your heel where the heel hits the floor, does that hurt at all down there?
No, not really.
Do you have any pain in the bottom of your feet?
Um, I mean sometimes, but I did get a new pair of cleats.
When did you get those?
Uh, I want to say like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
Maybe.
Can you do me a favor on your right leg? Can I now have you actually turn around so I can see the front part of your leg for me, please? And is there any pain in any of the front of your legs at all?
Not really. I mean, sometimes like right here gets kind of tight,
Okay.
but I like that'll get tight sometimes, and I'll just get it like massaged.
Okay. And do the massages then help?
Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do for me now is can you turn to the side so that way I can see the arch of your right foot, please?
Like that?
Yes, thank you so much, Steve. So what I want you to do right now, can you just lift your foot off the ground for a second for me? Just a tiny bit. Perfect. And now lift it so your whole foot is not touching the ground. So you're bouncing just on your left foot. And then step down for me. Okay. So you have kind of normal, would you say, how would you describe your arches?
I mean, I don't need any supports or anything, so I would think that they're normal.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. I just wanted to see, what you've experienced as far as arches. I'm going to have you do one more thing while we're zoomed in like this. I want you to turn back around so you can walk away from the camera for me.
Okay.
And what I want you to do, take a few steps back just so you're in the angle of the camera if you could, as long as possible. Perfect. Now, can you take a couple steps forward for me? Perfect. Thank you so much. Are you now able to possibly come back? And I want a little bit more of a view. Let's get from like your hips down at least, if you could for me, please.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It helps me get a better view of what's going on.
I hope this is helping. I need to get this figured out.
Yeah, for sure. Just, okay. Can you go down just a little bit further? I'm sorry. Just a little bit.
What?
The camera down just a little bit. I want to see like your knees.
Oh.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, now I want to see you do a calf raise. So if you could raise your pants one more time for me, just to at your knee length. And then just have you with that right leg as you're turned away from the camera. I want to see you go up on your toes and then jump for me.
So go up on my toes.
Yep, and then can you do a couple little baby hops for me?
Yeah, that hurts.
That hurts? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can come back down and sit at your camera now for me. Have you had any numbness and tingling throughout the joint?
I don't think so.
What I'm going to do, I am going to move my screen. I'm going to actually pull up a document, and we're going to work through it. What I would originally do is I would give this to you, but since we're not at an appointment, it's going to be a little bit hard in order for us to continue on. So I want to do 2 with you right now. Are you willing to do 2 different ones with me right now?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Just as long as we get this figured out, because I got a game this weekend.
Yeah. Hey, let's just do this. If you could describe to me, overall, are you very nervous about returning to sport, or more just the fact of getting injured within it, or just the frustration of not being able to play?
I would say just like the frustration of not being able to play. I mean, I've been pretty healthy. I haven't had any serious issues. So this is just like, this is new for me, but I feel like I can just get through it. And I really want to make a contribution to the team.
Yeah, definitely. And I really want you to too. And I definitely care about what this matters to you. So I hope you can understand and Realize that I want to be here to help you be as healthy and play to the top of your ability as you can. So definitely the top of my priority for you. I'm going to share my screen with you. So you're now going to see a web page. This is a secured web page where I'm going to keep this data together. So what this is going to do is this is going to see how your ankle or your heel injury is affecting your life. And then when you come back subsequently, we're going to be able to hopefully see some improvements. And we're going to be able to see if our treatment that we're going to do with you works. So I'm going to screen share right now. You should see, and please correct me, you should see on a screen, you should be able to see a white and blue chart. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So you can see on the top how it says no difficulty at all, slightly difficult, moderate, extreme, and unable to do, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me the answer for each of these that has bothered you within the past week. Okay?
Okay.
The past week. Have you had any difficulty standing in the past week?
I would say like slight difficulty, like after practice, for example.
Okay. Walking on even ground.
Slightly difficult.
Walking on even ground without shoes.
Moderately difficult.
Walking up hills.
Moderately difficult.
Walking down hills.
The same thing.
Going upstairs.
Moderately difficult.
Walking on uneven ground.
Yeah, no, that really stinks. I'd call that more like extreme difficulty.
Stepping up and down curves.
Slightly difficult, I guess.
Okay.
I can't remember like going on any curves specifically.
Okay. And then, oops, I put the wrong one for you. Squatting.
Squatting is slightly difficult.
Slightly difficult. And I just wanted to let you know as we did this, I didn't have you do it right now for me because I saw how painful it was to go up on your toes, that I didn't want to put you in too much pain. So just so you know, I do care about your functional movement. I just was very concerned for how painful you were this early in the morning. Okay,
Thank you.
Sleeping, are you having any difficulty sleeping?
Not really. I mean, I guess I got a lot of things rolling around in my head, but once I get to sleep, I don't like wake up or have difficulty falling asleep, I guess.
So where would you rate this?
I'd probably say like no difficulty.
No difficulty? Okay. So kind of more that anxiety, that fear of not being able to play and contribute to your team. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How about walking initially?
Slightly difficult, I guess.
Difficult. Walking 5 minutes or less.
Slightly difficult.
Coming up on your toes.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
How
extremely, I guess.
extremely? Okay. Walking approximately 10 minutes.
That moderately difficult.
Home responsibilities, or I'll call this even dorm for you or wherever you're living.
That's like slightly difficult. It's because like I'm able to do it, but it's just not comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. Activities of daily living, so living your life as you are.
Slightly difficult again.
How about walking 10 minutes or greater?
Extremely difficult. Are we done with this thing yet?
Can I ask you 5 more questions? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just so I can best get this for you. If you're able to do 10, that would be even better if you're able and willing to do that for me.
Okay.
It's your call as the patient, though.
Okay.
Okay. Steve, please at any time let me know and I will stop this for you, okay? Personal care.
I mean, I don't really have any. I'm like showering and stuff, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too hard. That's pretty easy. No difficulty.
Okay. Light to moderate work, so standing or walking.
Slightly difficult.
Slightly difficult. Heavy working,
Probably more moderate difficulty.
and then recreational activities,
That gets pretty hard. Yeah.
extremely difficult then.
Yeah.
Okay. I have just 4 questions left about your pain. No pain, mild, moderate, severe, unbearable. You can see that scale right there. When you're
Okay.
at your general level of pain, so overall, what would you rate it as?
Probably moderate.
Moderate. Pain at rest.
There's not really any pain. I mean, a little bit, I guess, maybe mild.
Mild. Okay. And then pain during your normal activity.
Probably moderate.
Moderate. And then pain first thing in the morning.
It's pretty stiff in the morning and it's really hard to move around. So I'd probably say more and more severe.
Severe. Okay. So what we can see here, Steve, you're at a very high score right here of 56.7, meaning that, as we all know and said, this pain's really bothering you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop this screen share right now. Okay, so you can now see me. What I really want to do with you, Steve, I want to kind of talk through what I think is going on with you, some possibilities, and then I want to give you some options of what you can do with some of your treatment, okay? So what I think you have going on right now is Achilles tendonitis or a tendinopathy. Have you ever heard about a tendonitis anywhere?
I have. I mean, and then I don't know what it means, I guess.
Yeah, we'll explain it to you. Just wanted to see your level of familiarity. So what happens is your calf muscle, your gastroc, where the muscle goes down to is it goes down right to the bottom of that heel. When it gets close to the heel, the muscle turns into a thick tendon. So you know when you touch in the back and it feels like a band-like substance, that hard thing?
Yeah.
That's called the Achilles tendon, okay? And what happens over time is this tendon starts breaking down. So we like to think of our tendon nice and happy right here, okay? Let's think of little micro tears. So a little bit each time, it's just gonna bing, kind of just separate, okay? And kind of stretch a little bit. And we have now these gaps and tears of what used to be a nice solid tendon. This is very painful for you and a very bothersome thing because it's hurting in almost everything you're doing, okay? I wanna make a couple treatment options for you and talk through and kind of let you know what I think is going to be best. So today's Thursday and your game's on Saturday, so we only are having a couple days. I want to ensure that I give you the worst case scenario possible just to keep you informed. Sometimes these can turn into an Achilles rupture, and I don't want that to necessarily scare you, but that's the severity of how we need to take care of this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that can be that's a season-ending injury, and we don't want to let it get to that far. I don't think we're at that point now, but I definitely think coming in for daily treatment during our scheduled treatment times are going to be very important for you. Some other things, and this will definitely, we do this because not that we're going to want to keep you out of play, but we want to make you as healthy as we can during it.
Okay.
Some treatment options that I will give you as we get close would be, it's called myofascial decompression therapy or cupping. Have you seen that before?
No.
So we would want to work on that calf muscle. There are these little suction cups that we put on and move up, and it brings additional blood flow to the area and also helps loosen the stuff surrounding your muscles to allow it to move a little bit more freely. We would work on your gastroc with this. Another thing we could do is called iastim or Graston treatment. Are you familiar with this one at all?
Is that like the little metal thingers?
Yeah, so we can't go back-to-back days, but we'll also work on your calf, getting some of that area loosened. We don't want to necessarily do much right on the Achilles right there because that can cause more pain. And instead of letting the body heal itself, we're just saying, hey, here's damage, here's damage, here's damage, and we're never going to get better. Some other possibility of things that if you choose to come to treatment, we would work through some rehabilitation exercises with you. So ensuring that you're able to move your ankle in the range of motion as much as you want, getting it as strong as it should be compared to the other side.
Well, I can move my ankle. I just need the pain to go away.
Right, and so some of these exercises that we do will help get that pain away for you.
Okay.
that questionnaire that you answered, that's not going to be something you have to do often. But about every week to 2 weeks, we're going to want to go in and see if that number has decreased to see, hey, maybe we're getting a little bit better.
Okay.
Have you come to treatments ever within the football team or athletic training services at Indiana State?
When I get my the front of my legs massaged.
Okay. So you know that just set up, we'll get you set up with a time and you'll come in during your scheduled time to get that individualized treatment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is that something you as the patient are wanting to come do, is to come get treatment?
Well, if you think that it'll help me get ready to play, then yes.
I definitely do. And like I said, with that Achilles tear, that's that worst case. If no treatment happens, it can lead to that. So it is your body, your choice as a patient. So I wanted to make sure you know you have that option. But I also wanted to let you know what will continue to happen if you choose to not do any treatment.
Okay.
Another thing that we can do, we have these things called heel lifts, and we'll put that into your cleat. And so remember when your leg, when you had mentioned when you bring your leg all the way up into bent like this, so if this is your ankle and you bring it up really high, that hurts more.
Yeah.
This heel lift will go in and will allow that angle to be decreased a little bit. So that way when we go through, you're not putting as much stress on it. So that's another option if you would like to go through it.
Okay.
Steve, before I kind of see if we have any more questions, I want to make some goals with you. So I know that this is frustrating and I know that you really want to get back to play. So I want to do some things for you to kind of, let's say what Steve wants to do, and we'll make this kind of work so we're both on the same page. So let's think short term. Let's think let's say within the week, okay? So a short term. What is something that you really want to do?
Play.
Play on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's work through this. There's a thing called a SMART goal, and we're going to kind of break down the components. So we know that you want to play by Friday. Let's be a little bit more specific. Do you want to play as you have been playing, or play more affected with the pain?
Probably play more effective, I guess.
Okay.
Try and get some catches for the team, some first downs and stuff.
Yeah, so maybe a goal for you of this could be to be able to participate within a football game as you traditionally have with being, let's say, because you've been up to an 8 or 9, let's say paint it like a 4, and be able to participate and play.
Okay.
Does that sound like a goal for you?
Yeah, we can do that.
That's going to be a little bit difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. Trying to get that pain down that quickly, but it's definitely something we'll work through if you're willing and diligent to come in for treatment.
Okay.
Let's think long term, okay? And I think your ultimate goal is to continue to play. The season's kind of wrapping down a little bit. So you have how many weeks left in your season?
I think like 4.
4 weeks. So how about we make this goal together, that by the end of week 4, Steve, you the patient, will participate in a full football practice and or game without any pain or hesitation because of your injury?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you? Steve, I'm really optimistic about this. I know it's been very frustrating with you. I would love for you to come in, schedule some appointments with me, and be able to show you how there's different ways, and we can work together on what works best for you and try and really decrease this pain, because I know that it's something that's really bothering you, and I definitely think we can work through this. I do want to let you know, if this is getting to the point where it's bothering you to where you're having more difficulty sleeping, or your eating is getting messed up, or your social life, please do not hesitate to come talk with me. I have a large amount of resources available to help you through coping, because this is something that's pretty difficult. People downplay it a lot, but not being able to have your role in the team is something that's very concerning.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does, and I'm really sorry. I really hope that you give us a shot to work together to help you get better as fast as we can.
Okay, I can do that.
Great. I love to hear that, Steve. Um, do you have any questions for me before we end this encounter?
No, I'm sure they'll come up later, but I can't think of anything right now.
Absolutely. Steve, do you have my email address to be able to come in and schedule an appointment?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Okay, so why don't you try to get into sportswear? Shoot me an email if you need. Get that appointment scheduled, and make sure you sign up for the whole hour block. That way, we have enough time to work with you, and because the first time is going to be a little bit more in depth.
Okay, sounds good.
Great, Steve. I really enjoyed talking with you today, and I look forward to working with you. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.